All right, hello. This is me. You know who I am. If you don't, then I don't blame you. I'm stupid. Anyway, PewDiePie made another cooking video, so naturally I have to copy him because I don't know. Anyway, this is bad. Hang on, I gotta get over you being here. As you can see, I have a cameraman, so you can actually see my face and the things that I'm doing, and I don't have to hold a camera while I'm doing dangerous things like being around fire and messing with the stove. So the thing that PewDiePie made last PewDiePie cooking video was a Swedish bread that I don't think I want to try and pronounce because I'll probably butcher it, but it's some kind of Swedish flatbread. So I went to the store and I got the stuff I needed to make it, and yeah, this is the stuff. Hopefully this is the correct stuff. And PewDiePie said he failed at making the bread, so let's see if I don't fail at making the bread. So let's see. And the recipe I looked up, it had everything in grams for some reason, so I just converted it all to cups. So first thing we have is dark rye flour, which I actually had to search for. They didn't have it at like Walmart's, and I went to H-E-B and they had like one bag and this was it. So about a cup and a half. This is a 1 cup thing. Where's my other thing? Excuse me. It's not up there. Oh, here it is. I'm dumb. Found it. There's a little bit of rice in there. Let me get rid of that. Don't do the sink. The sink is ugly. And nobody say anything about me using a liquid measuring cup for dry ingredients. It's the same measurement. Is that how you do your note? What do you know about baking, Sammy? He's not going to talk. And that should be good. Yep, okay. In the bowl. Probably should have done that a little less aggressively. And then this regular flour, which I actually read the ingredients wrong. It said something like some sort of smelt flour. I don't remember what exactly it was called. I didn't write it down, and Sammy has my phone, so I can't look it up. But apparently I could use wheat flour, and hopefully this won't ruin it. But regardless, I should come out with some sort of edible substance. So half a cup of this flour. That's good. Half a cup. Do I sound mean? I feel like I sound really mean, especially when I'm talking to you. I'm sorry. Alright, there's that. And then I'm going to go ahead, before I add the water, or the... Oh, and this wasn't in PewDiePie's recipe, but in the recipe that I found online, it said to add honey, which I think sounds like a good idea, so I'm going to do that. Oh, I need scissors. Where are the scissors? Thank you. Is TSP means teaspoon, right? So I don't know what I'd do with the rest of the packet of yeast if I only use some of it. Okay, let's not drop it. Yeek. There we go. Okay, get out. 1 tablespoon of honey. So let's do that. There's a tablespoon. That's a teaspoon. That's a tablespoon. Did I just... If I put it in this thing, then it's going to get all stuck to it and it won't actually be a tablespoon. So I'm just going to eyeball this and put some in there. Why am I shaking honey? That's good. Shut up. It came out faster than I thought, and the recipe does call for runny honey. That's stupid. Why does that rhyme? A little bit of salt. It had like a thing, and it called for sea salt, but I looked up the difference between sea salt and regular salt, and there wasn't enough difference to justify me buying new salt. I needed fine sea salt. That one's like big old chunks. So just, there we go. That should be good. All right, and then it says 1 tablespoon of caraway, which is this weird stuff that I guess it calls for. I don't know what it is. It looks like flannel, not flannel. Flannel? How's it pronounced? Fennel. You can speak. The truth is, my husband is embarrassed of me, and thinks my YouTube channel is stupid. Tablespoon. Okay, I can use a tablespoon for this. Alright. Okay, so, and then I'm go ahead and add the water. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Doesn't look like bread yet. Right, and 2 cups of water. All right, I'll get a mixer. Sure, let's go with this. What's the point of the hole in this middle of the spoon? If I put too much water, I give up. I'm not trying again. I guess I could just add more flour and crap. This seems a lot runnier than it's supposed to be. Okay, I may have just messed up. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some more flour. Okay, and then a little bit more of this one, which was less than the other one. So. Hopefully this comes out more like dough, which it looks like it is, and that's good. Okay, I'm gonna add just like a smidge more flour, and then I need to let it sit here for 8 hours. Should I add more? Yeah, should I? No, I'm going to anyway, just a little bit. Just a little bit, just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit of that. Don't fall. And just a tiny bit of this. There we go. Alright, so now I'm just going to leave this be for 8 hours, or actually probably a little bit longer than that, depending on how long it takes for me to get my cameraman back. But I don't think letting it sit for a little bit longer is going to hurt it. Alright, so I need, was it a damp cloth or something to put over it? Alright, here's the warm towel. Just going to drape that over. And then I will see everyone back in 8 or so hours. Alright, it has been approximately 8 hours. And as you can tell, I have lost my cameraman because I thought he was going to be home earlier. but I was incorrect, and I don't want to wait until 2 in the morning to finish this video. So I am going to finish it by myself, and just gonna have to do the whole jump cut thing like I did before. So here is my bucket, or my bowl. There's the bread. It looks like it has risen. And from this point, I'm supposed to take some out, roll them up in the balls, and flatten them out, and then put them in the oven for about 8 to 10 minutes. And then once I have a whole bunch of those, I stack them all back up, doesn't matter how, according to the instructions, and then I throw them back in the oven for about 20 minutes at, I think, like 200 degrees Fahrenheit or 100 degrees Celsius. Maybe I shouldn't even mention Fahrenheit, because I'm making this video because of PewDiePie, and he apparently really hates Fahrenheit. Okay, regardless, I'm going to go ahead and try to make this bread. Alrighty. Alright, so maybe I have this set up to where you can actually see me attempt to do what I need to do. I don't have any parchment paper, so I just have some tinfoil right here, and that's good enough. So I don't have anywhere to set that, so I really hope this doesn't turn out bad. Okay, so I guess, oh my gosh, this is super sticky. This is just like PewDiePie said. How am I supposed to roll this into a ball? I should have put flour on my hands first. I've already failed. I failed so bad. Darn it! Come on. I can salvage this. I really can. Hang on, let me actually get it in the... Why do I want you guys to see my failure? Darn it. I should have put flour on my hands first. Shoot. Well, first one is a fail. I'm going to rinse this off and try again. No, I told myself I wasn't going to fail. But you know what? I think I did. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. This one is wanting to go into a ball. So I got one failure, one maybe success. You can't see it because it's out of frame, and I'm not going to touch my camera with these hands. I have a feeling that I didn't get any of the thing that I recorded. So that's frustrating. However, hopefully I will go back and it might still be there, it might not. But what I'm doing now is I'm rolling them up into balls so that I can flatten them and then put them in the oven. I was having trouble getting the dough stuck to my hands because it's really sticky. So I've come up with a system where I have the bunch of flour right here. I have, oh great googly moogly, fell in. Okay, I have a scoop here with my bowl. What I'm doing is I'll scoop out some of the flour, or not the flour, the dough. Yes, the dough, and then I will drop some of it in the flour. Come on, come on, drop. All right, so yeah, that's good. So that'll be for like one ball, and I'm gonna rinse this off and try and keep that a little cleaner. And then I'm gonna put some flour all around it so that it won't get all sticky stuck to my hands, and that I can handle it a whole lot better and form it into a ball. And then I plop it down over here where you can't see it, but it's still on the paper, and I need to do that 24 times. I have 4, so I need to make 20 more. Alright, so I have 12 so far, so I'm going to go ahead and start with these. In a moment, I'm going to flatten them and do what I need to do to stick them into the oven. And I did double check. I did end up recording everything that I thought I recorded, so I did not lose anything. So I am happy. So let's go ahead and go to the next step and get these things flat and put in the oven. Okay, not see if you can see it really well, but I have one that I've flattened out right here. And I'm going to attempt to pick it up and put it on this tray, which I don't know how successful I'm going to be, because I might get like a spatula and try and scoop it off. Yeah, I'm gonna get a spatula. Okay, so I have this stone slab thingy that's supposed to be made for making bread. Yeah, that's the first one that I put down. It's kind of derpy looking, but I have some others on here that look like more like what they're supposed to. I don't know if they're flat enough. So, I mean, they seem pretty flat to me, and I don't want to accidentally make them too flat. And this board here is, or this slab here is already hot because it was in the oven. So I also don't want to burn myself by getting too close to the actual, you know, stone part. I don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and put this in the oven and see how this comes out, and then finish up with everything else. Alright, so I finished getting these all rolled into a ball, and I believe altogether I made 23, which means there's probably just one up here that's just slightly too big. But over here I have what just came out of the oven, and I'm going to try and scrape this off, and great googly moogly. Let's try this one. Yeah. I'm going to need both my hands because I'm going to need to hold onto this while I try and get these off. And then I'm going to transfer them over into this tray. Okay, so I was able to get them all off, but they all left some kind of residue. So I'm going to abandon the stone thing, and I'm going to get a regular cookie sheet, and I'm going to put Pam on it so they don't stick. Oh, and if you don't know what Pam is, it's just a non-stick spray thing for baking. And this one it's got no flavor added to it, so I know some Pam sprays have flavor like butter or something, but this one is just won't stick to the pan. And I'm using a pizza pan, because why not? Okay, here's the next batch that's going to go in the oven, but something that I forgot to do that is very important to this bread, and its Swedish origins, is I forgot to jab it with a fork. So I don't know how much it needs, but just jabbing it with the fork. Like you do. Okay, last one. Ah! Alright, and hopefully these will come out looking a lot better than these. Okay, so here's the next batch that just came out of the oven. I think they're okay because I just looked at the temperature dial right here, and for some reason it was all the way up to 500, and I don't know why, because I didn't put it there, so I'm guessing I bumped it or something when I walked by. Here this is. I talked about, I don't know why that was on the wrong temperature. Glad these aren't burned. At least I don't think they are. I'm going to scrape them off, and I'm going to put them in there. Okay, so Pam worked really well. Didn't have to scrape them off at all. They just came right off. So, good for that. Yay. Okay, next batch ready to go in the oven. And I don't think I showed you before, but those are the batch from the last one. And I actually think they look pretty good. They look pretty. Alright, so this is the last batch that will be going into the oven. And then, I dropped the phone. Oh my gosh. Well, everything's okay. Alright, so anyway, this will be the last batch that's going into the oven. And then, all I gotta do is throw this into the oven at 200 degrees Fahrenheit for about 20 minutes, and then they should be done. Alrighty, so this is the last batch. I'm gonna scrape it into this pan, and then I'm gonna put that back into the oven at 200 degrees for about 20 minutes, and then I will taste them. I'll have no idea what the actual bread is supposed to taste like, but I will be able to determine whether or not it tastes good. And I think that is very important. Alright, and this here is the final product. Let's go ahead and put these on a plate. Nice. Okay, so these are actually all the pretty ones that I baked. I left the first 4 failures in the pan because I did not want them to mar the good looking ones that I made. Alright, so like I said, this Swedish flatbread, which I cannot remember what is called. I really want to try and say it, but I also really know that I'm going to butcher it. It's like, he said like Kirkeban or Kirkeban or Kirk, Captain Kirk. I'm gonna stop trying. So this bread, I don't know if it's supposed to be crunchy, if it's supposed to be flat and still be like soft. I don't know what the texture is actually supposed to be. But what I do know is if it tastes good. So let's go ahead and just pick a piece. This one looks as good as any. Okay. Well, it tastes like rye bread, which makes sense because of the dark rye flour. It's not crunchy. It's pretty chewy, but not like bad chewy. It's got a good consistency to it. I could put some butter on it. That would be really good. Bread is bread. Everybody loves carbs. I mean, it's successful in the fact that it came out as bread and not something else. So as far as making what I made turn into an edible substance that I could actually sit down and enjoy eating, I would say this is a success. For this being the actual kind of bread that it's supposed to be, with the texture and the flavor and everything, I have no idea because I have no reference to the actual bread. But successful in the fact that it is bread and it is edible. So I will call this a win. Thank you for watching, and I will have another awkward cooking video as soon as I have something else to cook, bake. Thank you. Bye-bye. Don't stop it, okay? I can edit it out retarded stuff. Alright. Where are you focused? Like, okay,
Kitchen.
I trust you, whatever.